Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello love my dearest friends, welcome back with me Nadia Farunisa. And in today's video, I make this to fulfill my basic translation task that has been given by my beloved lecturer, Miss Prima. And here I will be reviewing the last material that she gave last Monday. Exactly, it's about translation process, or in Indonesian we call it as proses penerjemahan. If it's so, let's just get straight into our main discussion, okay? But first, before we enter to the explanation, previously I would like to do apologize if in this video I make some mistakes, probably because you know that I'm still in learning process as well, of course. Okay, so anyway, let's begin. First, we are going to talk about what is translation process. Have you know about that? Have you heard about that? Okay, so basically, translation process can be assumed or can be said as everything that happens during the translation flow. Begin from the translator start their work until everything completely finished. Jadi teman-teman, secara garis besar, proses penerjemahan atau translation process ini merupakan segala hal yang terjadi selama proses penerjemahan, selama penerjemahan ini berlangsung. Dimulai sejak sang penerjemah atau translator ini memulai pekerjaan penerjemahannya ini hingga segalanya tuntas terselesaikan. Jadi secara garis besar, translation process itu membahas terkait hal tersebut. Okay, so guys, as we know that the result of all things in this world cannot even be separated from the term of process, right? Just like when we eat. When we want to eat something, there must be a classic process where we have to buy or prepare or cook the food for eating, right? Even the instant noodles, which are said to be instant, still have to go through the boiling step, isn't it? And the same thing is also have to be applied with translation. Translation itself is actually the result of process. According to Nida and Tabor in their book entitled Language and Translation Structure, this translation process has three main stages. First, analysis, second, transfer, and the third or the last is restructuring. So, apa sih sebenarnya arti dari ketiga tahap tersebut? Yang pertama tadi ada analysis, yang kedua transfer, dan yang ketiga restructuring tadi. Okay, so let's discuss it one by one, okay? The first is analysis. Before we decide something, of course, we must first analyze the background of something that we want to decide so that it doesn't get the wrong target, isn't it? Well, it's the same thing as the translation. When we want to translate a sentence, we must really understand first about what the sentence means, what is the context about, and do not let us translate it carelessly. Jadi sebelum kita mulai sebelum kita mulai menerjemahkan, kita benar-benar harus tahu terlebih dahulu background atau latar belakang dari kalimat yang akan kita terjemahkan. Kita harus menganalisanya terlebih dahulu. Sebenarnya konteksnya apa, arah dan tujuan dari kalimat tersebut kemana, dan lain sebagainya. Jangan sampai kita itu menerjemahkannya asal-asalan, seperti itu. Okay, and guys, have you ever heard about the phrase of break your leg? Pernah dengar gak frasa dari break your leg? If we translate the break your leg without any analysis, of course the meaning of the sentence will be distorted. Jadi kalau misalnya kita menerjemahkan break your leg secara asal-asalan tanpa tahu konteks dari kalimat tersebut apa, pastinya arti dari kalimat tersebut juga akan hancur berantakan dibandingkan makna aslinya gitu. Because kalau misalnya kita menerjemahkan break your legs dengan patahkan kakimu, itu benar-benar kesalahan yang besar. Because the appropriate meaning of break your leg is almost the same as the sentence of do your best. Break your leg basically has the same meaning with do your best, like that. So, kesimpulannya, in conclusion, a translator is not only required to understand the linguistic structure. Seorang penerjemah itu bukan hanya diminta untuk mengerti terkait susunan daripada linguistik, susunan kebahasaannya saja, tata bahasanya saja. Tapi, he is also required to have broad insight about the sentence by sentence that they will translate. Selain itu juga, seorang penerjemah dituntut untuk mengerti, memiliki wawasan luas terkait kalimat atau kata yang akan diterjemahkannya. Seperti itu. Jadi dengan kata lain, dari sini kita dapat tarik kesimpulan bahwasanya proses analisa ini sangat-sangat penting dalam translation process. Clear yet, isn't it? Okay, so the second we move and we will be entering to the transfer point. So this transfer is included in the second part of the translation process stage. Ya, jadi benar banget kalau misalnya proses transfer ini termasuk tahapan kedua dari proses penerjemahan atau translation process. When viewed from the origin of the word, transfer can be interpreted as replacement. Or if this transfer is interpreted as a verb, then the meaning could be a process of changing, moving, or sending something. Jadi transfer ini kalau misalnya dilihat secara manawiyah ya, artinya tuh merupakan suatu pemindahan atau pergantian. Atau misalnya jika diterjemahkan secara kata kerja, secara verb, maka artinya adalah merubah, memindahkan, atau mengirim sesuatu, seperti itu. So, what does this have to do with the translation process? Jadi apa sih sebenarnya peran dari proses transfer ini dalam case translation process? Yes, it's true. Simply, the transfer process is the process of changing the source language to the target language. But that's not all. Of course, we are required to choose the correct diction as possible so that the sentences we translate don't sound weird or stiff. Jadi, secara mudahnya, simpelnya, proses transfer ini merupakan proses pemindahan dari bahasa sumber ke bahasa yang menjadi tujuan, ke bahasa tujuan kita, misalnya dari bahasa Inggris ke bahasa Indonesia. Simpelnya seperti itu. Tapi selain itu, tentunya sebagai seorang penerjemah, kita juga dituntut untuk memilih diksi yang akan diterjemahkan tersebut setepat mungkin, sehingga kalimat yang diterjemahkan tidak terkesan kaku atau terkesan aneh, seperti itu ya. So, in essence, the transfer function in the translation process is not only for language transfer, but this process also aims to select and filter the most suitable diction to be used. Seperti itu. And then finally, guys, we are arriving in the last stage of translation process. Still remember it? Yep, it's restructuring. So, basically, restructuring itself comes from the word structure. Or in Indonesian, you know that structure means susunan. But if you add prefix re and suffix ing to structure, it will be restructuring. And Indonesian, it means menyusun ulang atau menyusun kembali. Rearrangement, seperti itu. And in translation process itself, we can conclude that restructuring is the process of compiling sentences from the source language whose arrangement is adjusted to the target language. Because as we know that each language has its own uniqueness in terms of sentence structure. Jadi seperti yang kita tahu ya, bahwasanya masing-masing bahasa itu memiliki keunikannya tersendiri dalam pola kalimat. Seperti misalnya kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia, susunan kalimatnya adalah subjek, objek, predikat, dan sebagainya. Tapi dalam bahasa lain itu akan beda lagi gitu susunannya, seperti itu. Okay, so guys, maybe that's all I can say about translation process. I really apologize, as I said before, from all of my mistakes I made. And thank you very much for every attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.